I'm fanboying so hard right now. She knows my name.
This is CJ Sapong. I'm Elliott Bambrough, which can only mean one thing. This is another episode of Fireside Chats. Let me set the picture for you. Women's World Cup semi-finals. My Lionesses took on CJ's US side. I decided to place a wager. CJ accepted. I lost. Although I did pay my debt, I thought I'd raise the bar today and invite CJ out to come and see the Chicago Red Stars welcome back their 4 US women's national team players for their homecoming. So you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Should we go catch the game?
Let's do it, brother.
Okay, you get the hot dogs, I'll get the seats.
Cool. Out here, baby. Man, Elliott.
How you doing?
We living out here. Yeah. Whoa. I like that chant.
Halftime seemed like a logical opportunity for us to get inside, sit down, chill out, and have a conversation. It would be rude to not come back to the World Cup and the fact that the US beat England, which I'm comfortable with now. But what's your fascination with the women's game?
Honestly, it's the way the country comes together in support. Just walking around the stadium, you see all these little girls and how excited they are to see these stars. You know, I referenced the '99 World Cup. I remember when I was a child and I saw that, and even girls in my class and how inspired they were from that. And I mean, you could say that the women that just won, they're a product of the inspiration that came from the '99 World Cup championships.
Why is it important to get behind the women's game and support the Red Stars even outside World Cup year? Why is that important?
Obviously, being a player for the Fire, I think it's good for children in this city and I mean people in general to kind of see what soccer has and see the atmosphere that soccer can bring.
Let's move on to you. The Fire faithful want to get to know you a little bit more. So in the first 3 years of your career, you experienced so much. Were you like, this MLS stuff's easy, I can get used to this. What's the one that stands out for you, the most proud moment for you?
Okay.
With Sporting KC.
Yeah, MLS Cup final. Rookie of the Year was amazing, but again, it was my first year and it kind of set a standard for me and actually kind of maybe worked against me in the later years because I kept trying to reach, the top. And if I didn't, I kind of was down on myself. Whereas MLS Cup that season, I was in and out of the lineup and to be able to play, the storyline of the game was the coldest game in MLS history at the time. Extra time, penalty kicks, taking a penalty kick, my fan is there, all these things that, honestly I had to shut out during the game. But once we won, you really realize all the work that you put into it. First time, winning a championship, I just started crying, bawling my eyes out. You just can't really hold in that emotion when you put in so much work to accomplish something and you actually do it.
The KC was the realizing potential, and then the move to Philly was the making of the man. That's the way I see it. What happens at Philly that really, changes you, that fills you out as a person?
Yeah, it's the changing of an environment. That's always going to be something to deal with and something that is not going to happen overnight. One, go to the East Coast from the Midwest. You know how nice they are in the Midwest? And I get to the East Coast. I remember driving from Kansas City, and as soon as I get to Philly, you just hear horns honking, bumpy roads, people cutting you off. And in that moment, I didn't realize how much it was actually going to do for me because as time went on, it allowed me to kind of stand within my own power and kind of assert myself as well and not just be one-sided or one-dimensional, just a soccer player.
But one other thing that I'm interested in, and I know the fans would be interested in hearing about, is that's the place you set up your foundation. In a nutshell, share with us what Sacred Seeds is.
Okay, so Sacred Seeds is a nonprofit based on sustainable and urban agriculture. We want to utilize that experience to promote educational experiences as well as empowerment within communities. My thought and feeling is that if a child or even an individual is empowered to grow their own food or empowered to learn about what nutrition they need to maximize their potential, that will expand to the community and now you'll be able to have communities that are self-sustainable in their own right and don't have to rely on external factors as much.
CJ, for shameless plug time, for those who want to get involved or donate or whatever, what's the website they need to go and check out for Sacred Seeds?
www.thesacredseeds.org.
You scored on your debut, of course, in LA. Is that something as a striker that's important to you? Does it still rankle you if you come in and you haven't scored a goal that game, or you missed a clear-cut chance? Strikers live and feed off of goals, so is that something that's important as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you don't score in that first game, you're like, I better score in the next game. And if you don't, it just keeps building and building and building and building, until you get that goal. But like I was saying earlier, it's always the next game. I can score 30 goals, and I promise you the next game I'm going to be telling myself I have to score. And that's just something that, again, I think is innate within me from playing soccer all my life. And I do think it's a good thing, though, as well, because it's what has allowed me to continue to play and continue to have some success.
A lot of people see the celebration, see the CJ celebration. I think people think it's just the way you celebrate a goal, but as you just mentioned, that is like, you're very zen. You're a very focused person. You meditate. What else do you do? What else do you do to relax, to center yourself?
Yeah, with meditation, there's so many different aspects of it. Flotation.
My meditation is turning on the TV, beer in hand, watching some soccer.
Hey, whatever works for you.
That works for me, but what kind of meditations do you do?
So a lot of it has to do with bringing down because again, as professional athletes, high adrenaline, like intensity, you're always like really pushing your energy to its highest level. So a lot of it is just relaxing, getting into a mental space where I'm disconnected from whether it's social media or noise. Like I live downtown, there's construction everywhere. A good thing for me is going into nature, and Chicago's great too because there's beaches, there's water, there's parks, stuff like that, and hearing the waves, sitting under a tree. I'm that, maybe you guys will catch me like 63rd Street Beach doing some Tai Chi or something. I like doing different things and seeing what has beneficial effects for me. And what I've noticed when I'm putting the intention into my self-awareness, it always ends up good.
Where were you when you first heard about the potential trade to Chicago? Do you remember?
This is actually a pretty funny story.
I'm asking the right questions. That's why they pay me the medium-sized bucks to do the show.
I was fresh out of the shower in a towel, dancing to some Afro beats. And my phone, I had the little speaker connected. I hear the little doo-doo. And I'm like, man, I'm not worried about that. I'm dancing to my music right now. And I don't know, I had this little pit in my chest. So I'm like, all right, still dripping wet. I go over and I see, coaches want to meet with you. And I'm like, oh, and I knew right away.
You knew it?
I knew it right away. I was actually pretty excited. Change of scenery is something that I actually kind of value because I know it's going to put me in a position to just get better.
And what do you like about Chicago? In your short time you've been here, what have you enjoyed most about being in Chicago and the fans and being attached to the Fire?
Well, Chicago Fire is a historic club anyway. Growing up, I think it was maybe the third ever MLS Cup. I remember watching them win, and I grew up in Virginia, so I was a DC United fan, and there were a couple guys from DC United that moved to the Chicago Fire. And I don't know, something about that third MLS Cup really stood out to me. Chicago Fire was my next favorite team. And
you were just saying that because you're sitting there right now.
Honestly, it's interesting how these moments happen when you're young and they stick with you and you don't really know why until boom, I'm in Chicago. And I'll give you guys another little nugget. I like having fires and meditating over fire and telling stories over fire, and I happen to be playing for the Chicago Fire.
We're telling stories right in front of a fire right now. We just can't get CJ away from fires. Fires everywhere.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Fires everywhere.
It's in the stars.
CJ, thank you for sitting down and talking with me on Fireside Chat. Thank you for coming out to the Red Star game. Do you want to come downstairs and join me and welcome back some of the World Cup winners?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Kids here at SeatGeek are getting a chance to hang out with World Cup winners. They've seen the women play on TV. They've seen them lift a trophy. Pleasure going around here, hanging out with kids, hugging kids, taking photos. Special.
Good game, Katie! Woo! I'm fanboying so hard right now. Good stuff, looking good. Congrats on everything.
Thank you.
Keep it doing your thing,
Thank
all
you,
right?
CJ, right?
Yeah. She knows my name. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. I feel like I won a World Cup. Like, that's how real it is right now.
That was nice.
You know? Julie! Woo! What's up? Congrats. Hey. Thank you.
I'm gonna steal a picture too. I feel like a kid again.
Right?
I feel like a kid again.
You feel it in your chest
Yeah.
right there, huh?
I just stood with and took a picture with the World Cup winner
World Cup winner.
and leading goal scorer for the Fire.
Oh.
Look.
Dang, so I'm gonna be in the camera roll after your picture with Julie. I feel special.
You're a special man. Zen man. From another Fireside Chats, the Zen master himself, CJ, thanks for watching. And we didn't even plan that.
We didn't even plan that.
We out. Let's just walk away.